Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books, and I've been covering Avatar 2 pretty closely. Had no idea it was going to do this well. In fact, I thought it wasn't going to do, I thought 1.4 billion, worldwide when it was finished. It's far from finished. Who knows how much money this movie will do? I have explained that I was wrong about this movie. I never thought it would lose money. I thought they would always be able to make up the money selling to streaming, other TV outlets, other licensing, cable channel revenues, all kinds of things like that. But clearly it's going to make significant money before it winds up going into any of those other extra and ancillary markets. So it's going to be very profitable. I did a video the other day talking about this Avatar cash machine. 1.4 billion is what they've hit this weekend. These are their numbers. Worldwide box office of $1.397 billion. This number is expected to go, this is the thing about it. You don't know how high it's going to go because Avatar 2's box office drop in the third week is an incredible number. It's actually 0%. So 0% is very unusual because usually demand is satisfied for the film in the first weekend. You see a lot of interest in it. The second weekend it drops off, and then it drops off a little bit more, and then it starts to, go down to where it's ultimately not going to run anymore. Potentially it could run longer as long as people still want to keep going to see it. And there have been plenty of people that seem like they're willing to see the movie more than once. 3 hours and 12 minutes. It's an experience. People want it and they're seeing it. So let's get into this article from Giant Freaking Robot. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. You guys have been great. The channel is growing. I really appreciate you. Avatar, The Way of Water had an astonishing 0% drop at the box office in its third week. That is so uncommon. It's no secret at this point that Avatar is the biggest, highest grossing motion picture of all time with an astounding 2.9 billion worldwide. That's the first one. It's also pretty common knowledge that Avatar, The Way of Water is one of the most expensive productions in history, and according to now, this is disputed, but according to director James Cameron, the sequel will need to earn at least $2 billion to break even in movie theaters. I see the explanations. I see the comments. I don't mind people making comments on this in the comments below that supposedly that's not a real number. And recently James Cameron said the number is really closer to 1.5 billion. The truth of it is, there's no question that the movie's going to break even theatrically in movie theaters. It's going to get its money back. But on top of that, it's going to make a lot more than that, and it's also going to make a lot more in all the other places that films get distributed. Disney is definitely going to make their money on this one. Now, considering it cost Disney $71 billion as part of the Fox deal to get this movie, overall, was the Fox deal profitable? That's another question. Can't get into that in this video, too extensive. While reaching that milestone initially seemed like a long shot, particularly since the film earned far less than it was projected to in its opening weekend, Avatar 2 saw an unbelievable hold in its third weekend at the box office, dipping 0% to match its second week take. Also, though, keep in mind the second week was suppressed because of all the snowstorms throughout the United States. Still, it's quite good. Water Element is on fire. This is from Exhibitor Relations Company. It's a tweet. Avatar The Way of Water dropped 0% in its third box office adventure, matching its second weekend take of $63.4 million. It's a legendary status. Even Spider-Man No Way Home dropped 34% in its third weekend, netting $56 million. The film, which landed in theaters December 16th, easily claimed the top spot over the weekend, earning a very healthy $63.4 million. That number is right in line with the sequel's previous weekend total, which is an impressive feat to say the least. So far, Avatar 2 has earned $440.5 million at the domestic box office and approximately $957 million from international territory. That overseas total is quite impressive considering the sequel has struggled in China due to a rise in COVID-19 cases. The film is expected to cross $1 billion internationally in the next couple of days, and when it does, it will be only the second movie to reach that benchmark during the pandemic era. The first Avatar opened to a modest $77 million back in 2009, which would be a glorious haul for most films, but not for a feature with a $237 million budget, not including the cost of promotion. Of course, the movie proved it had legs and ended up being massively successful in the long run. Avatar 2 looks to have the same holding power as its predecessor, which means reaching the break-even amount of the supposed $2 billion is looking more and more likely. Avatar 3 is pretty much a done deal at this point, considering it was filmed alongside Avatar 2. The film is done. It's 9 hours long. All the visual effects need to be done so that James Cameron can decide what he wants to edit out. He's having that done by Disney. as we speak. Back in September 2020, James Cameron revealed that 95% of the third entry had been completed, with filming concluding in December of the same year. The two movies were shot simultaneously because the director wanted to avoid the Stranger Things effect of aging with some of the younger actors. Whether or not we see additional sequels beyond Avatar 3 will depend on how well Avatar 2 performs. While the third installment, which is rumored to be titled Avatar the Seed Bearer, is certain to be released, there's no guarantee we'll see Avatar 4 and beyond if The Way of Water doesn't at least break even. I will tell you this, expect to see Avatar 4 and 5 and 6, because what starts to happen with these things, Avatar 1 was re-released in 2022 because Avatar 2 was coming out, and it's done like $75 million internationally. So that's good money, and it's basically almost free money, the percentage that the studio gets, because it was already produced and made. And when you have a new release and you can continue to sell the back titles like this, the previous episodes of it, it does help the franchise, and it's going to help all kinds of extra revenue sources. So now that they see that, yeah, you waited a long time, but you got Avatar 2 out, it's holding, it's very strong. Of course, it's going to more than break even Avatar 2. And we should definitely expect to see Avatar 3, 4, 5, 6, until trends change or until James Cameron decides not to make films anymore, which that will also probably never happen. James Cameron has stated on numerous occasions that he will continue to make Avatar movies so long as they continue to make money. Avatar 2 sees Jake Sully living with his newfound family formed on the extrasolar moon Pandora. Once a familiar threat returns to finish what was previously started, he must join forces with Neytiri and the army of the Na'vi race to protect their home. Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Stephen Lang, Sigourney Weaver, and Kate Winslet star in the sequel, which is now playing in theaters around the world. A lot of people are seeing this movie. A lot of people are seeing it also in premium formats, which really helps the movie gross. When you see it and you're seeing it in 3D, you're seeing it in IMAX, that's not a standard ticket price. That's an upcharge. Millions of people on top of millions of people throughout the world paying high prices to see this movie, seeing it more than once. That's how you get these numbers of like 1.4 billion as of this past weekend. And the numbers are only going up from there. Have you seen Avatar? Let me know in the comments below. Do you plan on seeing this movie if you haven't seen it yet? Are you planning on seeing it a second time? Let me know. Also, let me know, did you know all along Avatar 2 was going to make this kind of money? I didn't. I didn't expect it, particularly when it didn't open as strong as it seemed to. And it seemed like Deadline and Variety were covering for it, saying, oh, well, people are waiting to see it in the premium format. No, apparently that was pretty much true. But let me know again in the comments below. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.